Get in a situation where you got to have an older kid, then maybe transfer is the way to go. But you evaluate every year, and it's based on your needs, and that's how we'll go about recruiting that position. Thank you.
It's your first task in looking at your quarterbacks. Do you evaluate what you think they do best? And then Coach Brown said that Joel had gone to them and saw what they feel comfortable with. What's your process in getting an idea of what you think they do well?
The first thing is getting to know them. Like I've got to build that relationship with them so that I can coach them harder. And then and Coach Brown, he's hands on with a lot of the offense too, being that he calls it. But as far as the most important thing with them is they all have talent, okay? And being that Austin got here, we're going to create a competition in that room. And it's like any other position that you go ask about. The number one thing that makes a player better is what? Competition. And that's the number one thing that we're going to strive for this spring is to compete. And Coach Brown and myself will get together, and whoever we name the quarterback, that's who it'll be. But when that's going to be named, I don't know.
In the past, have you had quarterbacks with a really disparate set of skills like these? One guy that leans more one guy's more drop back guy.
Yeah, when I was at Troy, I want to say it was around 2012. We had a kid named Corey Robinson, and then the number 2 guy was Deion Anthony. Well, Deion Anthony was a dual threat guy. He could really run, and he had a great arm on him. Corey Robinson from Paducah, Kentucky, had a cannon of an arm on him, but he couldn't run. And we actually played those 2 guys, and I think if you get in a situation where you got a guy that's a little bit different but good enough to play, then you find a way to play him a little bit. And if you look back at the last 4 years at Troy, whoever the number 2 quarterback was, they played in the non-conference games at least a drive. So, we try to gain experience even for the backup quarterback in non-conference games to at least get them the drive, whether it be the third drive of the game or the first drive of the second quarter, but they at least play, and they have in the past.
Philosophically, in your offense, if you have 2 guys with really disparate skill sets like that, is it much of a change to what you're teaching to get them into comfortable plays? Or
I don't think so. I think fundamentally it's really all the same. You're just trying to bring out the best in them, and if you've got a runner, then maybe you shrink his passing package and concentrate more on the quarterback run game. And if you got a true passer who really can't run, then you're probably not going to have a whole lot of quarterback run game. But I think as far as when you're developing them, it all comes together to really be about the same. You're just tweaking their packages based on what they can do.
But those are part of the overall system you teach no matter who is.
No matter what. Correct.
Language a lot different? I mean, they're going to have to learn a whole new terminology set?
I don't think it's a whole lot different. I think the base offense is going to be very similar. Now, what we call it may be different than what they called it, but that's just a learning curve for anybody. I mean, they've gone through it once already when they go from high school to college or if they transfer. So I don't consider that being a big issue.
Austin getting here at this point, how key was that? You guys just talked another body, more competition in the room.
It is key. I mean, he gets here in time to go through winter workouts. So basically what we do is we have a quarterback school. It's an 8-week process before spring ball where we meet with them and kind of teach him the offense, like 1 or 2 plays a day. So he's getting that for 8 weeks. All right, then he's got spring ball. That goes through 5 weeks, 15 practices. And then he's got summer workouts, another 8-week program where we put him through quarterback school again. So you look at all that, you got 16-5. That's 21 weeks of quarterback meetings leading into fall camp, and then that's another 4 or 5 weeks. So you're sitting at 26 weeks of meetings before you even step on the field and have to play game 1. So he's gaining that compared to if he got here in the summer, you lose part of that. So, I think it's a big factor in him being here early.
Quarterback school, is that your terminology for it?
It
just come out?
It is. No, that's our terminology for it. We have a quarterback school where we meet with them about 15, 20 minutes, and then they go out and do drill work without a ball for about 20 or so minutes. But it's a 4-day-a-week deal, and it's just basically teaching the fundamentals and slowly installing the offense play by play.